Hello, everybody. Dr. Rick Wallace here, dropping in on you. Hope everyone is having an unbelievable week. We're already past the halfway point. There's still a lot of work to be done. There's still time for things to swing in your favor if you've been having a tough week. And no matter what the situation, the one thing that we don't do is quit. No surrender, no retreat. So we buckle down and we focus and we remain committed to being everything that we need to be to ensure that we get the results we want. We understand that delay does not mean denial. We understand that there are going to be difficulties. There are going to be setbacks. There are going to be disappointments and delays. That's a par for the course in striving for success in anything that you desire to do. This isn't about a life of ease. This isn't about a clearly paved path. This is about understanding where you want to be and putting in the work and remaining committed enough to get it done. And so that's what I want you to remain focused on. I want to remind you about an opportunity to work with yours truly in a masterclass that is focused on helping you break through procrastination. And then I'm going to talk to you today about the importance of moving beyond your procrastinating state and your procrastinating mindset and being hunkered down in the now to the point that you can't create the future that you desire for yourself. I have seen people from every walk of life. I've seen people who come from poverty, people who come from dysfunction and a family where toxicity and addiction and everything else is prevalent, but I've seen them overcome it. I've seen people come from places where it wasn't uncommon to have electricity and water disconnected, to sit up and eat sporadically and yet come out with a mindset that was set on doing something different. They didn't allow their past to define who they would become. And that's something that you have a responsibility to do for yourself. It's not so much where you start. It's about an understanding that you have the ability to contribute, to invest, and to position yourself to be where you want to be in life. Am I saying it's easy? Absolutely not. As Will Smith said, it is, as Will Smith said, he believed that God put everything worth having on the other side of fear. I've added that you can put pain in that as well. God placed everything that you consider worthy of having, the things that most people desire to become in life, the things that most people desire to be and have on the other side of fear. You're going to have to go through fear. You're going to have to break through the fear of failure, the fear of what people think, the fear of uncertainty, and you're going to have to conquer it and move through it, because on the other side is where the reward is. You can't stay in your comfort zone and ever achieve true greatness. You can't remain in your comfort zone and ever fully actualize your potential. So my thing is, stop putting off your greatness. Stop postponing your greatness, and your greatness will show up in multiple areas of your life. Your greatness will show up in your marriage. Your greatness will show up in your parenting. Your greatness will show up in your finances. Your greatness will show up in your career. Your greatness will show up in the businesses that you create. Your greatness will show up ultimately in the impact that you have on the world. It's not isolated. It's not exclusive. It's who you are, and everything you touch will have a reflection of your greatness. But you are going to have to stop putting off what needs to be done now. Let me tell you something. Make this the last time, the last year that you're sitting up and sitting on your potential. Don't waste not one more year sitting on your potential. Make today the day that you commit to doing something different, doing something and changing something. We have about 70 to 75,000 thoughts that move along in our subconscious each day. Now, what we understand is that 91% of those thoughts are the same every day, but it's the 9% that vary that you intentionally engage that determine how you move in life. It's that 9% of your thinking that you can sit up and control how you approach things, what you expect out of life. Those are the things you have to do. I created the breaking the curse of procrastination because the truth of the matter is it doesn't matter how gifted you are. It doesn't matter how intellectually empowered you are. It doesn't matter what resources you have. It doesn't matter your background. If you don't take massive action towards your goals, you will never achieve them. They will simply be ideas in your head. It's not until you commit and start moving toward them that all types of things happen. Remember, action is a part of faith. That faith without works is what? Dead. And that functions no matter how you move at it. That's not a religious thing. That's a universal principle. If it's something that you believe is possible, you take action on it. Nobody believes something is possible and then sits on it and expects it to automatically manifest itself. When you think something is possible, you invest the right amount of energy, time, and effort into making sure that it comes to fruition. And through your investment, God, the universe, life, and the people around you begin to respond to the energy you emit, to the force that you put forth, to the actions that you take. You are sowing seeds. You are putting things out. Your harvest is being being set forth and will be manifested. But you have to take actions. You got to stop putting off. You got to stop procrastinating. You got to start owning your destiny, owning your future, owning your happiness. Stop looking outside of yourself for validation. Stop expecting someone else to tell you who you are. And I mean that on a grand level, and I also mean it on a very intimate level. Stop looking outside of yourself. Stop expecting your parents to validate you. Stop expecting your children to validate you. Stop expecting anybody that you sit up and you've expressed yourself through action to and for to validate you. There are going to be some people you're going to do some unbelievable things for, but they won't validate you. They will not acknowledge who you are and what you're capable and what you did. That can't stop you. You've got to be in tuned enough intimately with yourself and God that all you need is God and yourself. You validate yourself through taking action. You validate yourself through introspective examination of who you are, what you've done, what you've come from. Sometimes you just got to sit down and look because you're not happy with where you're at. So sometimes you got to sit down and literally compare where you're at to where you were, where you came from, so that you can get a perspective on just how far you've come. You've got to be able to validate yourself. I want to encourage you to understand that there's no difference in the top performers and those who are subpar performers and all of those in the middle. There's no difference in the makeup. I have spent countless hours and years engaging people on a personal, professional, and academic level. And what I can tell you is I've yet to encounter a person who didn't have a gift. I've worked extensively with people with autism on all ends of on the entire spectrum. I mean, from nonverbal to Asperger's. I've worked with people who had learning disorder. I've worked with people with Down syndrome. I've worked with people who come from poverty. I work with people who are designated crack babies. And what I can tell you is every last one of them had a gift. See, the gift is what makes room for you. I think that it's Proverbs that says your gift will make room for you and bring you before great men. But see, you've got to be willing to access the gift, pull out the potential, activate it, and then actualize it before you can experience what the gift is meant to do. See, that's your purpose inside the gift. I tell people all the time that when you discover your purpose, it will explain your pain. There's some things you've been through that you don't understand, don't make sense to you. You've asked God over and over again, why? But when you discover your purpose, it will explain your pain. It doesn't excuse those who caused it, but it tells you that there was something in it that made you better. There are some things you've got to go through called the process before you can ever truly obtain the promise. We don't like the process. See, that's where you encounter fear. We don't like the process. That's where you encounter pain. We don't like the process. That's where you encounter frustrations and setbacks and delays. That's where you have to run into things and make up in your mind that I'm not turning back. I'm not giving up. I'm not going to allow it to frustrate me to the point that I shut down. No surrender, no retreat. I'm built for this. You're going to learn in this life, one way or another, that nobody owes you anything. When you do something, you do it because it's in your heart and that you're planting a seed. And what you got to do is understand that in this beautiful universe that God has created for us to operate in, that responds to our faith. And it does. No matter what you call it. And I'm not talking about religiously. I'm talking about real, true interaction and understanding the God nature, not just outside, but inside yourself. When you understand that this universe literally responds to your faith, the energy you create in your thinking. See, your faith isn't just what you say. It's in your thought processes, and it's in the deep subconscious part, what a lot of ancient scripture calls the heart. But it's the subconscious. It's out of the abundance of the heart what the mouth speaks. Your self-talk has the ability to literally program your mind. You literally self-programming with the things you're speaking about your life. And most of you are talking about what was. Most of you are talking about what you don't like. Most of you are talking about the situation you're in instead of speaking and declaring the things that you desire to be in. You shall declare a thing and it shall be established for you. You've got to understand that you hold the power. Nobody has to validate what God has already ordained in your life. We've got too many people looking for other people, the approbation of others. Somebody to say, yes, no, I don't need anybody to tell me what I did. I know what I did. I don't need you to tell me. I don't need you to tell me who I am. Now, when someone thanks me, that's great. When someone shows appreciation, that's great. When someone says, man, you really did this and you did that, that's great. But I'm not here. I am not here for the approbation of man. I'm here to live out my purpose at its fullest. That's why I'm always saying I live my life on full, so that when I die on E. I am sitting here to live out a purpose. I tell people all the time that the first half of my life was me proving what I could do. It was me serving me. It was about what I could get, what I could buy, where I could live. And then all of a sudden it clicked. That's not what this is about. So the second half of my life has been about my legacy. What am I doing in this world that will speak of me after I'm gone? Have I made an impact on this world so indelible that after I'm gone, it still speaks of me? Will I leave something outside of money that my great grandkids can be proud of? Will they speak of me 50 and 60 and 70 years after I'm gone, like the likes of Malcolm, Martin? Will they speak of me 2,000 years after I'm gone, like the apostles and Christ? Will they speak of me beyond that, like so many others? Why? Not because I'm special, not because I have something that no one else has, but because I took what God gave me and I used it to the fullest of my ability. I actualized my gift. I manifested, I mastered it, and I took every ounce of it and optimized it and maximized it. And I walked a life that I can be proud of, that I'm satisfied with, that I am fulfilled in. I leave you with this. You are responsible for the life you live. No one else. No one else is responsible. Stop procrastinating. Stop sitting there expecting someone else to do for you what you must do for yourself. Take action. The link to enroll in this program is in the chat for those platforms where I'm streaming, and there's a chat. It's going to be in the description box of every platform. Do what you've got to do, but make this the last day that you settle. Don't waste another year. Make today the day that you make that move and take massive action. On that note, I'm out of here. As I always say, I'm gonna live my life on full. When I leave this place, I will die on E, having given this life everything I had. I will take no potential to the grave with me. There will not be one book unwritten. There will not be one lecture not given. There will not be one life untouched that I could have touched because I was too into myself. I am going to leave this place having given it all that I have. And I will know in doing so that I have left an impact and a legacy. On that note, I'm out of here. You guys have an unbelievable day.
Key to your reaching your dream, your living up to your greatness, your making your contribution is you. It's necessary you take responsibility for it, that you make it happen, that you don't give up, that you don't take any objection or disappointment or defeats personally, that you keep on keeping on, that you don't decide that I can't make it because you can't see the light at the end of the tunnel. And here's something you've got to resolve. Say this to yourself every day. It's not over until I win.
Hello, everybody. Dr. Rick Wallace here, dropping in on you, moving around, getting some things done. It's been a crazy week. On top of everything we're doing to close the year out strong at Rick Wallace Enterprises, this is also the week leading up to my wife and I's anniversary, which is on Saturday. So trying to make sure we're prepared for that. So it's a lot going on, but I'm excited because I wanted to close the year out strong. Our goal next year is to literally impact and change the lives of 1 million people. We set out to do that in one way this year, and we're up in the ante, and we want to literally, in ways that we count, literally be able to touch and impact the lives in a positive way of 1 million people. But we're not waiting to 2022 to start. We're literally getting started, building momentum, looking at how we can modify current existing programs to make them more accessible, and so many others. And I just reclaimed the rights to a program I designed for an institution some years ago, and they had rights to it for 5 years. Well, I just reclaimed it a few weeks ago. I've been working on it, amping it up, updating it, modifying it, and now it is available for you. Crushing limiting beliefs. You've heard me talk about limiting beliefs before. You've heard me sit up and say the only limits you have in this life are the ones you accept with your mind. When you take those limits down, when you remove those limiting beliefs, you will be surprised at how far you can go and the things that you can accomplish. Just imagine if Orville and Wilbur Wright would have held on to the limiting beliefs about human flight and what you could do. What about if Roger Bannister would have never believed that you could run the mile in under 4 minutes? What would happen if the person who created the cell phone and ultimately the satellite phone came up and said, man, you've got to have lines to even make this work. Nobody's ever going to have a phone that you can talk on that isn't connected to a wall. What if all of the things that you look at now, that computer, that laptop, that tablet, that watch, all the things that it does, what if somebody accepted the limiting beliefs about how that thing operated at a particular time and point, or even the fact that it would ever exist? Just think about how life would be. Well, the thing is, you have those same capacities. If you can conceive it in your mind, you can make it a reality. You have the ability to create through your thoughts. But the problem is, your thoughts are reflective of your beliefs. If you change your limiting beliefs, you change the way you look at the world, you change the way you move, the way you operate, and so much more. It is immensely important to understand that. Well, crushing limiting beliefs is, like I said, a course that I created for another institution. I gave them the rights to use it for 5 years. I just got it back. I just revamped it, amped it up. And here's the crazy thing. It's going for 70% of what they were selling it for. And 70% off, of what they were selling it for. And not 70%, as in 30% off, 70% off of what they were selling it for. I want as many people to get it in their hands. Now, granted, this course isn't working directly with me. This course is a course you get and you work on at your pace, with your passion, with an understanding of what it is you want. There are a little over 13 different lessons that are very specific, that walk you through the process of changing and dealing with each of the limiting beliefs that you're probably focusing with or dealing with, and how to accomplish taking each one of them down and building up positive beliefs and unlimiting beliefs to allow you to do some exceptional and extraordinary things. If you knew where I came from, if you knew what I've been through, if you knew some of the challenges that I faced, and you look at what I've been able to accomplish in life, it's because I refuse to limit my beliefs. Now I'm introducing to you an opportunity to step out from the shadows of those limiting beliefs that have been holding you back, and to do it in a way. This is accessible. If you're serious about changing your life, this program is accessible. It's so accessible. It's accessible enough that the institution that I sold it to wanted to buy another 5 years. And I said, no, I can see how this can help the people that I'm working with directly. It was great. It was a great way for my programmers to get out and reach other people, with other people doing the work to put it out there without me having to work. I did that for 5 years. My program touched lives without me having to do one thing. But now I want it in my hands. I want it as a tool that I can use to reach other people. So here it is. Crushing limiting beliefs. And it's a Rick Wallace Presents series. There's going to be a series of these things. Rick Wallace Presents. This one is Rick Wallace Presents Crushing Limiting Beliefs. You're going to want to check this out. You're going to want to be a part of this. You're going to want to use this in your life. You're going to want to be on your A game going into 2022. I keep telling you, don't go into 2022 flat-footed. It's going to put you at a disadvantage, and it's going to make what you're trying to accomplish in 2022 that much more difficult. Right now, I'm working on my 2022 as I talk to you. You're going to be one of the people that are going to have their lives completely changed by the work that you're going to do on this course as you move into 2022 and beyond. Look, the link is going to be in the description box, close to it. Click that link, order it. It's all digitized. The program, you're talking about 13 lessons. You're talking about an entire slide presentation of affirmations that you watch every day, and that helps you move. And these slide affirmations can also be personalized. You can ask about that on, but these affirmations are positive. They're universal affirmations that everybody should be using when it comes to limiting beliefs, but they can also be personalized, and you can ask how that can be done. But just know that there's a wealth of information. This is going to be a process, but you're going to enjoy it. You're going to have control. You're going to have it in your hands. This is the chance to jump up and make something extraordinary happen in your life. So again, go to the description box, click on the description box. Let's make things happen. On that note, I'm about to get out of here. You have an unbelievable day, and we will talk